Today, we are here to talk about Inside the Vendor Network, a brand new podcast dedicated to sharing the stories of the people, partnerships, and solutions shaping the SFR and BTR industries. Many of you already know our co-host here, Yovonne Kenny, from her incredible track record in the vendor community. Over the last decade, she has helped grow a small mom and pop shop in flooring from just under $1 million to an 8-figure business, Preferred Flooring Tile Company, now nationally recognized and serving top operators across 7 states.
And today she continues that momentum as Vice President of Strategic Growth at Palisade, an ACP brand, where she's leading the expansion of Palisade's innovative LVP shower systems into the SFR, BTR, multifamily, and production builder markets. It's only fitting that Yovonne accepted this invitation to host Inside the Vendor Network because there's truly no one better to tell the vendor story. She knows what it takes to build from the ground up, scale nationally, and connect with both vendors and operators in a way that drives real impact.
And please welcome the host of Inside the Vendor Network, Yovonne Kenny.
Thank you, Greg and Ryan. Thank you so much for that great introduction. And thank you both for being here to kick it off with me. This podcast really comes across from a place of passion. So over the last decade, I've had the chance to see firsthand the challenges and the wins vendors face in building relationships and with operators. I've lived that journey myself, growing a small local company into a nationally recognized brand. And now in my role with Palisade, like you stated, an ACP brand, I continue to I get to continue those conversations on a different and bigger stage, thanks to you, Greg, and Everezi Media. Inside the Vendor Network is about more than business. It's about the people behind the partnerships, the companies, the stories that don't always get told, and the clarity and the color that makes this industry special. And I could not be more excited to do it with no one other than the two of you, because who knew our relationship would lead us here to this day? But like you always say, Greg, let's go.
Well, you know what else is special about this industry is you, Yovonne. So you're the true gift.
I'm excited about this. I can't wait to get started, and so honored for the lineup of guests that I have coming our way.
So tell us more about Inside the Vendor Network. What are we going to be experiencing?
Yeah, so good question. I think we're going to figure out some of this on the fly. Of course, this is my first podcast, but as you know, I'll put my heart into it just like I do everything else. So Inside the Vendor Network is going to launch October 1st. As you and I smoked, as you and I, maybe, as you and I spoke more about a podcast, the inspiration came from seeing a real gap in how vendors and operators are represented in this industry. We've always had great conversations happening behind the scenes in this space, but there wasn't a platform giving these stories visibility, or what I say, bringing color to the people and the relationships that drive SFR and BTR forward. I think the show is about creating a space to highlight the real people, the partnerships and solutions that make this industry work, not just the transactions, the work orders, the change orders, and all this stuff in the grind, but the people, right? And the real life journeys is what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, so same here. We're super excited to see what you do with this, and I know it's going to be amazing. So tell us a little bit. So how is the Inside Vendor Network different from the traditional industry podcast or like Q&A format?
Well, one thing is I'm different. I'm always going to come with a lot of energy. So this podcast is definitely going to come with a lot of energy, but it's not going to be your typical like Q&A podcast. So I'm putting together run a show for each of my guests. I'm doing some thorough background and just like investigating. I really want to get to know my guests. And it's been amazing the things I've discovered. So with the October 1st launch, we're going to bring storytelling to the forefront. We go beyond surface level questions and dig into the gray areas a little bit, and the challenges, the pivots, and the lessons learned along the way. I want our audience and our listeners to feel like they're sitting at the table with us, hearing the authentic stories as if we're at a trade show. We went out to dinner and we're having an intimate conversation, and I learned something about someone like I never knew before because we got a moment to share together, right?
Mhm.
So love that. Love that. So Yovonne, you talk about bringing clarity and color to the vendor operator relationships. Can you share what that looks like in practice and why is it so important right now?
Well, right now, vendor operator relationships are often viewed in very black and white terms, right? We've got our pricing, we've got our deliverables, we've got our contracts. But the reality is, success in these partnerships comes down to trust, alignment, and communication. Bringing clarity means breaking down complexities and showing how these relationships really work. And they're relationships, they're not terms and agreements and deliverables and pricing. Sure, that's part of it, but like the real relationships, bringing color means highlighting the people behind the role, behind the total or title, bringing the total picture, their journeys, their struggles, and their wins. That's what we're going to do on the show, and why launching this platform now feels so important, because we do have so many vendors that started in this industry a decade ago, and their experience is wisdom for those coming in. And as the portfolios grow, we're going to need more vendors, but we need vendors that understand the deliverable and understand what the requirement and the demand for a relationship that the owner operators can trust and lean on.
Especially in this industry, right? It's so
Yeah.
unique.
Especially in this industry.
Yeah, relationship industry. There's no doubt. So
100.
what do you hope that listeners, whether they're owners, operators, vendors, or investors, walk away with after tuning into an episode?
Greg and I were talking the other day, and I think there's one audience member, not that we overlooked, but ultimately it's almost like a given that this is what this is all for, and that's for the resident. So I don't want to overlook the resident. My hope with the launch on October 1st is that the listeners walk away with two things: practical insight and a personal connection. Whether it's new strategy, a fresh perspective, or hearing that someone else has faced the same challenges, I want each episode to leave the audience with something that they can apply right away. If it is a resident, I want the resident to see and feel and experience the people that do care about their experience, care about the home that they live in. And at the same time, I want everyone to feel more connected to the people in this industry. Honest storytelling strength, I think, strengthens our community and helps everyone build better partnerships and results.
So Yovonne, you're launching Inside the Vendor Network on October 1st and already have some incredible guests lined up. But if you could book a total dream guest, anyone from outside or inside the industry, who would it be and why?
Well, my dream guest, and I've been working on her for a couple years, and it's only a matter of time. I don't give up. If you know me, you know that. My dream guest would be Sarah Blakely, the CEO and founder of Spanx. She embodies grit, creativity, and building something from scratch. She started her business with $5,000 and turned it into a global brand that disrupted an entire industry. She leads with humor, humility, and authenticity, which is exactly the tone I want for this show. Vendors and operators often feel like underdogs too, right? So fighting to prove our value. Sarah's story proves that when you solve real problems and you stay true to your vision, you can create lasting impact. So, Sarah, if you're listening, come on, girl, it's time.
Listening, and I think we need to leverage our entire network, because when you make this happen before you bring Sarah out, I feel like Ryan and I have to walk out there first in Spanx.
In Spanx. Oh,
and
the new Sneaks.
Spanx and Sneaks.
And the Sneaks, Spanx and Sneaks. I would pay money to see that.
Ryan's like, whoa.
Nobody wants to see that. No one wants to see that.
Oh, yeah, you do, Ryan.
Hey, so getting a new show off the ground, it's no small feat, as we know. What part of launching Inside the Vendor Network has been most rewarding for you so far?
Woo, it's a lot. I've never done a podcast, so I thought I knew what it would be to launch a podcast. But the most rewarding part, to answer your question, right, is how much I've learned while researching my guests. Like, it's incredible. Some of these guests that I've worked alongside of for over a decade, and yet I'm discovering things about their journey I've never known. It's such a blessing to be able to share these stories with the SFR BTR community. And that's what makes me so excited about this launch. So I would have to say, learning more about the guests, as cheesy as that sounds, it's really genuine and from my heart. Giving our industry a chance to see the depth, the resilience, and the creativity behind the people driving this industry forward is truly, truly amazing.
And I don't think, we, speak about driving this industry forward. We couldn't do it without you. So I know we're extremely excited and very proud to have you part of the Everesi Media Network. And you're going to your shows will drop weekly, right? So every week on Wednesdays. And so we're very excited. So thank you so much for joining the Everesi Media Network. Thank you for being part of this. And really, I think, just so much gratitude for everything you bring to the single family rental and the build to rent industry.
Greg, back at you. Ryan, back at you. I'm loving Inside SFR BTR. Without the Everesi Media network and platform and all the things that you're putting together, I mean, you really have created this opportunity, not for just me, but the ladies over at the SFR She-Suite and other podcasts.
Others to come, right? We've got some big names.
So I won't spoil alert, but thank you, my friend, for everything that you've done. So we appreciate you, and I think I can speak on behalf of the community. Thank you.
And tell us, how long have you been in the single family rental space now?
13, going on 14 years. I think we received our first work order from Main Street Renewal. So Barry Lindahl, who now is the founder of CB, gave us our first job. So funny story, actually. We'll probably get into that in the podcast, but you'll have to tune in.
We will. But before we go, can you just tell us, what does it mean for this asset class, this industry, to finally have its own dedicated media platform, especially coming from an OG like you?
Boy, I sure wish I had this when we got started. I could have avoided making a lot of mistakes on our journey at Preferred Floor and Tile Company. I think personally, being connected to the wonderful network of men and women in this space, that I am where I am today because of them and their mentorship, and they're investing in me and teaching me some of the ways, by showing that failure is part of growth, by demonstrating what it looks like to be successful, or maybe not be successful sometimes, and what it looks like to pick yourself back up and keep it moving, right? So there's so many incredible business owners in this industry, way smarter than than myself. So that's probably my greatest blessing that I feel like I've been had, is just being put in this industry somehow. I never set out to be in real estate. I never set out to be in flooring. By chance, that's exactly where I ended up, and look at where it's brought me. So now I want to give back as well, while I continue to learn and proceed on my journey right in this industry now with Palisade. So I look forward to it. I'm ready. Let's go.
We're going. And also, so Yovonne Kenny, host of Inside the Vendor Network. You're also headed to NARPM in
Yes.
Orlando, October 20th through 23rd. This is your first NARPM event, a brand new member. We recently spoke with Amy Hansen and Dee Dee Garzone, the incoming president of NARPM, Amy Hansen, the current president of NARPM. So just tell us, what are you looking forward to at NARPM 2025's annual convention, and tell us what are you looking forward to.
So this will be my first conference for NARPM. Will be at the annual conference. It's been amazing working with that team over there at NARPM. Savannah has been amazing, from booth selection to working with the company that handles all the logistics of the booth. At Preferred, we didn't do a booth, so the booth world is a whole new world to me as well. Most of the time you could find me walking around a floor of any conference, but we've decided to go ahead and get a booth at the annual conference. So I'm looking forward. Who knew there was this whole other big group or community out there? And so I'm so looking forward to getting to know everyone. I actually spoke with Savannah yesterday, asked her if I could get some of her time while we're there at the conference. And hopefully we'll get a sneak peek of Savannah and behind the scenes, and she can share a little more about the logistics that go into.
I think we're calling out Savannah Perry. I mean, she's fantastic. We're calling out
Savannah. Yeah.
Savannah Perry. Let's go. We got to get her. I know she's like, Gregory.
I planted a little seed on the phone with her yesterday.
Okay.
And she was like, I'd love to. So she might have been being polite, but hey, I think we're going to call her on that politeness.
We're going to have to mic her up. She's not, hopefully. So that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in Orlando in just a few weeks at NARPM's 2025 annual convention and trade show. So very excited for that. All right. So thanks for joining us today, Yovonne Kenny, the new host. Congratulations of her very first podcast, Inside the Vendor Network, with Yovonne Kenny, and dropping Wednesdays on the Everesi Media Network and wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks.